The rumor actually was that they'd been doing this all season. It just came out on that game for the Colts and Patriots the next day. But that was a date with 33 numerology like the word gate, and also a date with 53 numerology like deflate. How perfect. How perfect, Truth Seeker. January 17th also has that gematria of 74 like Indianapolis, Indiana, like the day the game was that left 74 days left in the year. Masonic equals 74. Okay, so let's just review a few more things. This was the very first game of the NFL season again. Patriots, Steelers. Patriots won it 28-21, a sum of 49 points. Tom Brady did it with 32 passing attempts. NFL equals 32, America equals 32, America's game, 32 teams in the league. Gronkowski had some signature touchdowns. 2 on the game at 11:11 and at 4:01. Think about 4:01 in light of 41 for Deflate Gate, Headset Gate, Super Bowl. They beat the Steelers with a combined 49 points, fresh off Super Bowl 49. Steelers and gematria has the 49 connection. I just saw this stat the other day, Truth Seeker. This might have been telling too from ESPN. They show the most sacks this season. Broncos with 52, Steelers with 48, Patriots with 49. 49ers hosting Super Bowl 50. Headline from last year. Again, last year I was tracking the number 44. 44 was big on the season. The Deflate Gate ball ended up getting auctioned off for $44,000 after the Patriots won in the 44th year of being in their division after knocking off Baltimore Ravens and Indianapolis Colts when the Ravens and Colts had won the Super Bowl 44 years earlier. A lot of things also synced up in sports with Lupercalia, the festival from the 44th day of the year. Lupercalia equals 44 in gematria. Connection to the name Tom Brady as well. Anyhow, last season, the 2014 season, where the Patriots ended by beating the Seahawks, again, the 44 connections. In week 3 of the season, September 21st, 2014, it was a date with 44 numerology. On that day, there were only 2 NFL games that had anything to do with 44. The Ravens defeated the Browns with a combined 44 points, and the Colts won 44-17 over the Jaguars. Again, the Baltimore Colts won the Super Bowl 44 years earlier, and after I saw this, I predicted that the Colts would win the Super Bowl. Just like after I saw the synchronicities this year, by week 7, I said the Broncos would win the Super Bowl. It looks like I made the same mistake 2 years in a row. I read the narrative for second place, overlooking the Patriots, which also had the storyline right in front of my face. And honestly, Truth Seeker, a major part of the reason I'm doing that is because I truly hate the Patriots. And it's just like a form of cognitive dissonance even within myself. I don't want to acknowledge that it's all lined up for the Patriots again. That said, there really was a great narrative for the Colts last year and for the Broncos this year. I'm going to do another video in addition to this and what lines up for the Broncos still, in case I'm wrong, but I really don't think I'm wrong. Like I said, 99.9% sure on this Patriots-Panthers Super Bowl. This season, 2015, there was another tribute to 44 just for 2 teams, just like last year. Last year, these were the only 2 teams that got the 44 tribute. This year, only 2 teams got the 44 tribute. The Packers defeated the Seahawks in Sunday Night Football 27-17, a sum of 44 points. The Falcons defeated the Giants 24-20 earlier in the day for a sum of 44 points. What's interesting here is Georgia, where Atlanta's from, and Wisconsin, where Green Bay's from, are the only 2 states with 44 gematria. So the only 2 states with the 44 gematria got the only 44 tributes. And as it happens, those are the teams that lost in Super Bowls 32 and 33 to the Denver Broncos, who it looks like the Patriots are going to advance over on the way to the Super Bowl this year. Are you following me? Last year, the big tribute for the Baltimore Colts from 44 years ago. This year, the tributes to the Broncos in Super Bowl 32, 33 indirectly through these games. For you football fans, if you're not aware, the Packers got Brett Favre from the Falcons after being drafted by the Falcons as the 33rd pick. Brett Favre was the 33rd pick of the 91 draft, taken by the Falcons on the 33rd parallel. ATL equals 33. Atlantis equals 33. Atlantis named after the lost city of Atlantis. Traded to the Packers. They have the Freemason G on the side of their helmet. In Francis Bacon gematria, lowercase a through z is worth 1 through 26. Uppercase a through z is worth 27 through 52, meaning uppercase G is 33. The Packers got the 33rd overall pick, who went on to be a Hall of Famer through the Falcons, the lowly Falcons who haven't done much in their existence. Please see my video on Brett Favre's retirement from this season, all by the numbers. But this is how the leagues run, Truth Seeker, always has been. With regards to Week 3 of the NFL season, check this out 3 years in a row. 3 years ago, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl over the Broncos. In Week 3 of that season, they destroyed the Jaguars 45-17. In Week 3 of last year, the Colts blew out the Jaguars 44-17. This year in Week 3, the Patriots blew out the Jaguars 51-17. Notice the Jaguars' loss was 17 points each year. This past season on my blog, I said to watch for the Jaguars to lose with 17 points before the game even happened. And at the end of the game, I thought I was wrong because the score was 51-10. The Jaguars drove the length of the field with less than a minute to make 17 points. All evidence of the scripting. The reason 17 is significant is because it's a special number. It's a prime number that has a lot of meaning. It connects to God. It connects to Mason. Think about how the NFL is a 17-game schedule. It's also a number of sacrifice. The word kill has a gematria of 17. Oftentimes, teams will lose with 17 points. Watch for this pattern next year in Week 4. The Jaguars losing, Week 3. Look for the Jaguars to lose to somebody with 17 points. I bet you it happens again. Okay, so I've thrown a ton of information, a ton of numbers. What we're going back to here is a post from November 15th, 2013. On this day, I was waking up to how the league was rigged by numbers, the connections between college and the NFL. At this time, in news and in mainstream media, there was a lot of programming about blackouts. There was even a show on NBC about a national blackout in the United States and the world never being the same again. National Geographic Channel did a docudrama on a national blackout. BBC, or one of the British news networks over there, did a show on a blackout in the UK around the same time. Janet Napolitano was stepping down as head of Homeland Security. She said the next 9/11 is due. She said it could be a blackout. It could be caused by a cyber strike or some other form. So there was just all this blackout fear-mongering, right? And at the same time, all these sports teams, it was becoming more and more common for teams to have blackout games where the fans at home were all black to the game. And what happened on October 17th, 2013 is the North Carolina Tar Heels had their first home blackout game for their football team. And then on November 18th, 2013, Monday Night Football, the Carolina Panthers had their first blackout game hosting the New England Patriots. And I remember watching this with my buddy, and I said to him, I said, dude, they're sending some kind of message here. I said, if there's ever a Super Bowl with these two teams again, I think it's going to foreshadow disaster. Meaning maybe a national blackout's coming, or maybe the blackout means something else. This past year on April 7th, there was a blackout at the White House. And the reason that's funny is because April 7th, 4/7, the word president equals 47. Think about the first black president in the White House, and a blackout at the White House on April 7th. Think about it. This blackout could foreshadow what's to come for Obama. If you go to my original blog, starting in 2013, the earliest things I'm talking about are stopping the next 9/11, recognizing the signatures, the trademarks of what's to come, and to look for certain things. I said there will probably be signs in the Carolinas. And you can go back to my blog. Come here, 2013. Check this out, Truth Seeker. This is my very first blog post when I started this blog. The next 9/11, the Carolinas and numerology. And I talk about all this stuff in popular fiction, what's being talked about in the media. I said, when these things come together, it's going to be a sign of the next September 11th. So, here it all is coming together. It's looking like the Super Bowl is going to be Patriots-Panthers. This is something I wrote about in 2013. It's just crazy, Truth Seeker. Look how it was 33 nights apart, those two blackout games. 33 is the number of the psychological operations, the number of Freemason obsession. The Carolina Panthers play in Bank of America Stadium, the only stadium on a 33-acre plot of land. The Bank of America symbol, if you look at it, is the U.S. flag made up of 3 11s. 11 plus 11 plus 11 is 33. This world is run by banker, Zionist, Freemasons. They control it all, even the sports leagues. And that shouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, these sports leagues rake in more money than most things in this world. The date numerology of the Carolina game with the blackout was a date with a 33 life lesson number. For the Panthers game, it was a date with 42 numerology and 35 numerology. The Patriots would win that game. November 18th, the night of the game, Monday Night Football, was the 322nd day of the year. 322, the number of skull and bones, the Masonic order. In the Batman movie, just before the stadium blows up, they show the number 322 on the screen. It's a scene from the movie. Monday Night Football has the gematria of 33. Notice November 18th also leaves 43 days left in the year. You think about wars in this nation, think of the Civil War, which began in Charleston. Charleston equals 43, Civil War equals 43. Abraham Lincoln, born on the 43rd day of the year. History by the numbers. They called this game, this Thursday night football, Zero Dark Thursday. Black and blue never felt so good. Zero Dark has that gematria of 44 and 98, numbers we talked about, connected to Lupercalia, connected to Tom Brady, connected to his Super Bowl last year. New England lost that game. I'm mistaken. The Panthers won it. New England 20, Panthers 24. What I remember, though, was the sum of 44 points. Like Zero Dark. And with regards to the president, in a blackout, kill equals 44, hope equals 44. Obama's the 44th president. So anyhow, Truth Seeker, this year the Super Bowl's on the 38th day of the year. Super Bowl 50. Super Bowl 38 was played between the Panthers and Patriots. This year Tom Brady's 38 years old. The Patriots won with 32 points in Super Bowl 38. If Tom Brady won the Super Bowl this year in Super Bowl 50, it would be his 32nd playoff game. Again, NFL equals 32, America equals 32, America's game. Super Bowl 38 was played on a date with 27 numerology. This year's Super Bowl is on February 7th, 2/7. And also, Truth Seeker, 27 and 38 are numbers of death. The word death equals 38. There will be a major death story on the day of the Super Bowl. You can put that in the bank. I guarantee that will happen. It happens almost every year. Last year, Ann Mara died moments before kickoff. She was a part owner of the Giants, who defeated the Patriots in Glendale, Arizona in the prior Super Bowl that was played there, where it was hosted again last year. All season, this was part of my confirmation, though, Truth Seeker, for why I thought the Broncos were going. So I really did think it was the Broncos. I read the script wrong again, just like I read it wrong last year for the Colts. It's amazing doing the same thing 2 years in a row, but this year I'm catching it after the divisional round. So for those of you who want to bet, I'm telling you, a bet on the Panthers and the Patriots, I'm confident that one's paying money this year. And it really looks like it's in the bank for the Patriots to win. But anyway, Colorado's the 38th state and has gematria of 38. I thought part of the Super Bowl being on the 38th day this year was good for them. It's probably why the Broncos will be advancing over the Patriots will be advancing over the Broncos on the way to this Super Bowl. Those Patriots. As for Cam Newton, the other QB who will be in the Super Bowl, check this out. His nickname is Superman.